Hi there, welcome to Kneppy Invest. It has been about 2 months since I last did a Tempest Minerals update. And the main reason I've really have waited 2 months is because nothing has really happened with Tempest Minerals. And when nothing is happening with the company, share price of these sort of companies just drift slowly downwards. However, there has been some excitement, particularly with the share price over the past few trading days. On the 22nd and 23rd of June, we have seen increased interest in this company, but no news flow from the company that can explain why the market has become interested in Tempest Minerals again. So just a quick rundown of what Tempest Minerals do. This, of course, is a mining company, an explorer, if you couldn't tell by the name Tempest Minerals. A really interesting history because they listed on the ASX in 2017 as Lithium Consolidated with ticker code LI3. And in 2017, that's when lithium went through their real initial hype period. That hype really died away in 2018 and 19. So Lithium Consolidated had to find something else to do. And they decided to diversify into other minerals like gold and copper because of that challenging lithium market. And they changed the name in 2020 to Tempest. They do have quite a few projects in West Australia, mostly in southeastern or southwestern WA. And most of these are gold, copper, but they still have a few lithium projects as well: Windarling, Rocky Hill, and Canaring. So a lot of opportunity here for Tempest Minerals. One of the things that didn't really confuse me, but when other lithium companies' share price and valuations were going through the roof, we didn't see that with Tempest Minerals until they released an announcement a few months ago, which wasn't nothing to do with lithium, had all to do with gold and copper. So let's have a look at that initial announcement that caused such excitement within the market. So this was almost 3 months ago, 28th of March. Share price rose 265% on this particular day. And that is that sort of rise in share price I haven't really seen all that often over the past decade and a half, ever since I started investing. So this was in regards to a new copper discovery at one of their projects at Orion Target. So there were no real big interesting numbers in this that would have got me excited, but really got the market excited. So one of the motivations for me following what happens with Tempest Minerals is to understand what caused excitement in these sort of companies, what drives the share price higher, what sort of news flow from the company. And to be honest with you, if I saw this announcement with any knowledge that the share price rose 265%, I probably wouldn't have picked this sort of reaction from the market. So that's one of the reasons why I'm doing these videos on Tempest Minerals, just following the fortunes of this company, simply because I want to understand more how to read mining companies' announcements, particularly those sort of announcements that have to do with discoveries. Now onto the news flow of Tempest Minerals over the past 2 months, from the 29th of April, not 29th of nothing, to 23rd of June. And they have released about 6 price-sensitive announcements over the past 2 months, not including probably the last 2. So if we take away or discard the last 2, they've only released 4 price-sensitive announcements in the last 2 months. The first one was the quarterly activities Appendix 5B cash flow report on the 29th of April. And because this company is not a producer, I more than likely did not even read or even open up that announcement. They released an announcement on the 13th of May in regards to Rocky Hill, multiple geothermal anomalies in initial fieldwork. Another announcement on 23rd of May. This was a gold and polymetallic results confirmed potential. And on the 9th of June, Tempest and Carrara Mining Limited signed joint venture MOU, so Memorandum of Understanding. None of those particular price-sensitive announcements led to any excitement in the market. And during this period, the share price of Tempest Minerals was drifting downwards. And then on the 22nd of June, you'll see the latest 2 price-sensitive announcements was a pause in trading and a response to ASX price and volume query. And that's the reason I'm doing this video today, because the share price on this particular day, the 22nd of June, rose something like 42% on increased volume. That's why they received a price and volume query. So the ASX wanted to understand if Tempest Minerals had any idea why the market was getting excited in the company, because the company itself had not released any news to the market. Now, I'm just going to show you some charts for Tempest Minerals. The first one is an hourly chart. In fact, both charts are an hourly chart. So this is not a daily chart. This is just looking at 1 hour periods. and we can see how the market reacted to that announcement, that initial announcement in late March, I think it was the 29th, if I remember correctly, something like that, 28th or 29th. And share price before that announcement was lower than 2.5 cents. And then the share price rose from about 2.4, 2.3 cents to a high of about 22 cents over about a 2 to 3 day trading period. So that's almost a 10 bagger in a very short period of time. Whenever you see that sort of share price rise in a company, there's always going to be some profit taking eventually. And we saw that profit taking around about the 4th of April. And in fact, on 1 hour, the share price dropped from about 21.5 cents down to about 14 cents. So a 33% drop in share price in 1 hour. And that was the sort of sign to get out or take profits in this company, because after that, share price kept on drifting lower. And if you look at the volume, even though my head is over the volume towards the end of this period, the volume started to get less and less. So the initial hype in this company was falling away once we went through towards the end of April. And in this chart, again, we're always looking at the hourly chart, and this just extends the chart I showed you in the previous slide all the way through to current times, to the end of trading on the 23rd of June. And that decreasing excitement in Tempest Minerals can be quite evident when we look at this chart. Share price decrease quite gradually through this time period, all the way from about 10 cents to a low of about 3.7 cents. And we saw that low of about 3.7 cents on the 21st of June. And then all of a sudden, on the 22nd of June, with no news flow from the company, we saw the share price rise quite considerably from about 3.7 cents. In fact, we did see a high either on that day or the next day of about 8 cents. So the share price more than doubled in a very short period of time, in about 5 or 6 hours of trading. And the other key thing to point out here is the increased volume. So heightened increase in this company for some reason. And the ASX wanted to know why. So that's why Tempest Minerals did get an ASX price and volume query. So let's have a look at that ASX price and volume query to see if Tempest Minerals had any idea why there was this increased interest in the company. And price and volume query from the ASX is just that organisation wanting some clarification in regards to the share price rising by a significant amount. Usually it does accompany with an increase in volume as well. That's why it's a price and volume query. Sometimes I think it just should be a price query, because on occasion you will see a share price of a company rise quite quickly on no volume. And what the ASX is trying to find out here is if there's any insider trading. Has the company have any news that they haven't released to the market that they probably should have, or they're waiting to release that news, and some insiders know this news and they're taking advantage of the lower share price? So that's why companies receive these price and volume queries from the ASX. In most instances, the company will say they have no idea what the share price has right, but they do have some ideas, and we'll see those ideas in the next few slides. On occasion, I have seen a company say, well, we probably should have released this news, and maybe this is why the share price did increase by a large amount. And then they release that news, that announcement, and that could be a case of insider trading. But I've only seen those sort of replies about twice in the past 10 years. Anyway, so this is a price and volume query. And the ASX refers to the following. For instance, the change in the price of Tempest securities from a low of 3.8 cents to a high of 6.5 cents today on the 22nd of June. I think the next day, 23rd of June, that's when the share price must have reached a high of 8 cents, and the significant increase in the volume of Tempest securities traded today. The first question is Tempest aware of any information concerning it that has not been announced to the market, which, if known by some in the market, could explain the recent trading in its securities? Again, they go straight to the crux of the issue here. Has there been any insider trading of Tempest Minerals? And more than likely, Tempest will reply, or any company will reply, they are not aware. And that's exactly what Tempest has done here. The company is not aware of any information concerning it that has not been announced, and which, if known, may reasonably be regarded as an explanation for recent trading in the company's securities. I've skipped straight past section 2, because section 2 or question 2 is only relevant if they answer yes in section 1. Tempest actually answered no. So we go straight to section 3. And in this section, it's all about what Tempest Minerals management think may have led to this sudden interest in the company. A lot of times you will see the answer to this, no, we have no idea, and leave it at that. I do like the management of a company put a little bit of time and effort into trying to understand what is causing the sudden interest in the company. And Tempest Minerals have actually done that. So they actually answered this particular question. If the answer to question 1 is no, is there any other explanation that Tempest may have for the recent trading in its securities? But Tempest said no. However, Tempest advised that the following may be contributing to strong interest in the company. They actually attended a conference or convention in Toronto, the Prospectors and Developers Association of Canada, and they mentioned there is strong interest, or there was strong interest in the Tempest story expressed by many parties at that convention. So that could be a reason about this sudden interest in the company because of this particular convention in Toronto. And they went even further in sections 2 and 3 of this particular answer. So they had a few possible reasons why there was sudden interest in Tempest, but I don't think any of these reasons could explain how the volume suddenly increased within a few hours and why the share price almost doubled, or actually more than doubled in a very short period of time. So in part 2 here, Tempest has a number of previously announced planned upcoming activities at the Malaya project, including downhole geophysics, field sampling, drilling, and penning assays from Ward H72 and Ward H73. Unfortunately, there have been delays experienced industry-wide in WA in being able to finalise assays in a timely manner. And then another one here, as advised in previous reporting by Tempest, including Section 4 of the prospectus released on 21st of June, while progressing exploration on its existing projects, the company also continues to investigate other mining and exploration opportunities in the best interest of all shareholders of the company, with a primary focus on prospective gold and copper projects. So they're looking at possible acquisitions. I don't think that's a good explanation why there's a sudden increase in this interest in this company. So again, I don't understand why all of a sudden Tempest share price shot up. It could be just someone in a social media platform started to spread the news, sort of like a pump and dump. That has happened quite a bit over the past few years with companies on the ASX. So that is something to be aware of, those pump and dumps, particularly if they do come from a social media platform. I think that's a distinct possibility here. I'm not a member of many social media platforms, but you do have to be aware that this sort of thing does happen on a consistent basis. And ASIC is trying to get around this issue. They actually, in fact, ASIC have gone to individual social media platform sites and have put warnings on these sites to stop these pump and dumps, because you can be charged and get fined or even put in prison if you are found guilty of doing those pump and dump sort of things. That's all I have for this 24th of June Tempest Minerals update. If you do have any more insight about why, possible reasons why Tempest Minerals share price has increased on high volume, I'd love to hear your thoughts. So leave in the comment section of this video. Otherwise, I'm not a financial advisor. If you do need financial advice, make sure you seek out someone who is qualified and can speak to your own financial needs. That's it for this video. Have a good day. Bye.